Get your money. You better get your money. Why are all the rich heads selling off and preserving cash? You better get right. Welcome to the FreedEm Culture. Here on the FreedEm Culture, I like to discuss current events in the financial sector, this new digital economy, and also breaking down blockchain technology in the most understandable terms possible. And today, I kind of want to cover the rich is selling stocks like crazy, and they are saving cash for some mysterious reason. Ain't nothing mysterious. You save cash to buy the dip.
Over 900 million shares, so not a small amount of holdings, but still selling off that $982 million of Bank of America shares here is obviously going to be a potentially bearish signal for Bank of America. And this comes as Berkshire, by the way, has consistently been selling off some of its Bank of America shares over the last quarter here. And we've seen Berkshire really increasing some of its defensive plays, getting
trimming from Berkshire Hathaway and its position in Bank of America. I mean, and this is a big deal, especially considering for Bank of America. I mean, it's a company that we're looking at that has about 64%.
Warren Buffett just sold off a lot of Bank of America shares, and Bank of America has been suspicious for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, for a little while, you know. And he has been like a number one supporter of Bank of America, but now he's all out, you know what I'm saying? And he owned like 77% or a very high number of Bank of America. So I feel like that's really something to keep in mind and consider, because I know a lot of people that banks with Bank of America. And if there was to be some type of epic, poetic collapse with a message behind it, it would be Bank of America. That sounds like it has a lot of substance to collapse, you know? God forbid. Then we have, he's been selling a lot of Apple shares. Him and Bill Gates had a good connection, but now not so much. No clue on why they're not, you know, why he's not supporting Apple anymore. I mean, he's, you know, Apple, I don't see them failing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of those businesses that's too big to fail. But he's out of it.
I love you still. Shout out to Tim Cook, Lauren Jobs, Steve Jobs. Cool. But can you tell me 5 things that you've seen out of Apple the last 5 years that you absolutely love? 5? Yeah. And if it takes that long to give 5 reasons why something is great, it ain't there.
It's interesting, the timing of it. I think a month ago we were talking about him shaving 13%, which was a large chunk, and then we hear that he shaved off half in this quarter. I'm assuming he did it around when Apple hit its 52-week high of 234, which makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
But when the news came out early Saturday morning, I text that in the chat. The next thing I said is, he knows something.
He knows.
You're right.
And he's convinced the whole world he doesn't know how to trade. If you look at the exits when he holds on the shit for 5 to 10 years, it's usually like $4 or $5 from the all-time high.
Yeah, we need to get him and Nancy Pelosi in a chat and see what we can do.
Now, Warren Buffett, he's like the finance god. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the game. I mean, when you're in finance, really and truly, the longer you've been in finance, the better. Like if you knew about this economy at 5 years old, you'll be an all-star at 25. You'll be Warren Buffett kind of. You know what I'm saying? Because his age and his wisdom, you kind of want to follow his route. You know what I'm saying? He's not senile. He's still kicking in. Yeah, I'm sure he got some people that he mentored that's kind of managing his money. So I don't know why he's selling off a whole bunch of Apple shares, but that's something else to consider. Then you have JPMorgan Chase preserving a lot of cash. JPMorgan Chase boosts their cash reserves by 1.2 billion. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of cash. So what is going on here? Why is everybody holding a lot of cash? Well, typically you preserve cash to buy the dip. Now, what kind of dip are we looking at? We're looking at, man, the pop of the everything bubble. This is possible. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to see headlines that I said something worse than 2008 is coming, but I think it's naive not to be open-minded to some sort of possibility of that effect. In other words, it's looking like 2008, but I really don't want to say that out loud. Now, the 2008 crisis was the unwinding of a 2.5-year experiment of the Fed manipulating interest rates too low. In fact, rates averaged 1.25%. That inflated an asset and bad credit bubble that, when it popped, nearly took down the entire financial system. What we're facing today is on a whole nother scale. We're looking at 11 years of rates that averaged 0.1%, which inflated a bubble that, when it did pop together with the COVID lockdowns, they poured another couple of years zero interest rates on top of it. Industrial scale gasoline on the fire. Pundits on the way up called it the everything bubble, and when it pops, it could well be the everything collapse that could take out even the good companies and the jobs they provide.
So whatever this guy Jerome Powell says in September is going to determine how much your money is worth. And that's why I emphasize you should support this channel. Because everybody's focused on the left, on the right, but nobody's focused on the money. And that's one thing, that's one common denominator that we all have to deal with. Money. You know what I'm saying? We all have to agree with what we view as value. And depending on what Jerome Powell says out his mouth, it's going to determine how much your money is worth. Now, everybody is expecting them to cut back on rates. When everybody says yes, I say no. I'm sorry, I'm just that kind of guy. I feel as though my overarching theory is that interest rates is going to go up to 6%. They're going to collapse the market and restart fresh. Hopefully with currency backed by something that has value. But that's a little bit, too distant. What I would say, everybody thinks that Jerome Powell's going to cut rates next month. Now, I would prepare myself for what if he doesn't, What if he doesn't cut rates? That is going to cause a real significant tank in the market, And that's when everybody's going to buy up. And then they'll finally cut rates around September. November. Especially during the election. We're about to have a new president, you know what I'm saying? So they'll cut rates then, and everybody's jumping for joy. Everything seems nice. We got money flowing. We got stimulants. Everything's nice. And then catastrophe happens. Because there's a negative side with rates being cut back as well, hyperinflation, so it's just a very interesting time. So I don't know how to feel. XRP just officially is over with their case, so I should be happy, but I'm also concerned, I just know we're making money on this channel, the FreedEm Culture. Like, comment, and subscribe. I strive to keep you informed. And also keep in mind of the Stop Congressional Trading Act bill that they're looking to, it's in the grapevine to be passed really soon. And Congress is going to look after Congress. That's a saying that I coined. Congress looks after Congress. So most likely they're going to sign the bill at the top of the market. So that way they could take their profits. They have to. They're not allowed to trade anymore. So they have to divest. And logically, you would divest at the top. So that way you can get profits. You feel me? So, I don't know. You just want to, keep your eye on that. And that's all I'm going to say today. Striving to keep these videos a lot more shorter. But peace, love, respect. Take care of yourself. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, share around, get at me. All right? Peace.